Hello, this is Benedict Hickson. Okay, we finished off already this session now with the director's view. We've done the blocking of the character moving around. Now we're going to have a look at the camera work view, organizing the cameras. Okay, so we click on the camera work view button. Now you have certain camera angles set here, free shot, star, and a particular one where you're following a particular thing there. Okay, so we're just going to be using free shot and the wide close-up one shot on star. Those are the two we're going to be using. You'll see here down here the main camera. That's what we're looking through right now, the main camera. Okay. All right, now, so to start off with, we're going to move to the beginning of the timeline. Okay, let's just click on it once. If you want to follow something very specifically, you're going to use this to target on something. We're not actually going to use that for now. We're going to move it around. Now, if I click on the screen with the left mouse, I can move left and right, and I can zoom in or zoom out by going up. Up, I zoom out. Down, I zoom in. All right. So I will choose about there. If I want to revolve, I just click the right button of the mouse and I can revolve the camera around there. Okay, so we want to include all of that. That is fine. Try and make sure that the floor is horizontal as you can get it. Okay. Alright, that's a bit better. Alright, so there we go. Set that all up first of all. Now we've decided on the position of the camera. It's still on setting it, we have these grid lines on the screen. Once you've decided on it, you have to either put it onto jump camera to this view. Okay, we'll probably want to do that because it's right at the beginning. Or else move camera to this view. So we'll start with jump camera to this view. I click on that and you'll see here that little triangle there. Okay, and you'll see with the jump camera to this view is kind of purple color, the blue color with move camera to this view. Now it's very important. Okay, so we've done that. Move across to here. We have the character coming in there. You can see him. Something which is quite important is at some point you'll be wanting to move the camera often. Now, a word of warning, if you move across to here, okay, let's say you want to move it there, okay, click on there, then we move the position around, and then you click on move camera to this view. What will happen is it'll move from that point right up to that point, the camera, from the previous position right across to there. And what you'll often want is you'll want the camera to be stationary at the beginning whilst the viewers get an idea of the scene, and then at a certain point you want to move it. Now to do this, what I recommend you do is you move the camera to the timeline to about, let's say it's 2 there on the timeline. Okay, so what I do is I click on the screen, I get the grids coming up here, and I choose this. I'm going to choose jump camera to this view. Okay, of course it won't be moving at all, it's all the same, but it gives this area here where it's stationary. Alright, quite important. If you want it stationary for a certain amount of time, make a jump camera to this view at the beginning and jump camera view at the end. Alright, now by the end we want the camera to be okay, maybe over about there. Okay, we want the camera to be where he is. Okay, so I get to the point where he's just turned around to face the window, the timeline. Okay, and I click on the screen, then I move it this way. All right, and right click and move. There we go. Left click, move closer to him there. All right. So let's say that's where I want to end it. Now I'm going to choose move camera to this view. Now what will happen is you'll see the camera will zoom in gradually to that place, and pan across as well. Okay, now the only problem with that is he's off the screen, so you're thinking, why am I zooming in here? We need to see the character first. So what we need to do is we need to move the end point of the stationary camera across, okay, till he enters sufficiently into the screen. Let's make it maybe 4. Okay, you see him appearing, he's walking across. Now we go across with the camera to join him to his destination, which is death. Across to there. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I want to have a camera which will we can see his face. Alright, now you'll notice up here, okay, if I move it back a bit, you can see there that's a shot of his face. So this camera is a wide close-up, one shot on star. So what I'll do is I'll click on that one. Now we've got to make sure that we're actually using a different separate camera. So the way to actually start, because you see these are camera angles, you've got to remember that you've only got one camera at the moment, the main camera. So it's important sometimes to produce another camera. So we'll go across here, across to the camera work view, arrow down, click on it, new camera. Right, there's camera 1. Double click on it just to make sure that we are on camera 1. And now with the camera angle, we want it to be star. But the thing is, we don't actually want, we want to make sure that the position is when he's at the window there. So double click on it. Okay, now we can't see anything. Now there's a good reason for this. We're on the other side of the prop, which is the view over London. So we need to change the position of it. Now as you remember, you left click on it, and then with the up we zoom in. Let's make sure that I'm correct on that. Pretty sure that's correct. Now we're starting to come into the room, the scene of the room. Alright, you can see us revolving there. Alright, often the easiest way of zooming in, if it's past a certain point, is if you push a caps lock and then the left button. Sometimes the easiest way is if you use a wheel of your mouse. Okay, now this looks great. Front facial view of him and everything. See, when we add the expressions, be able to see the expressions and everything on his face. But there is one problem. If you have a look here at the background, we've got green hills. Now, if you have a look down here, we're supposed to be in a flat looking over the London. So that doesn't fit in at all. Now there's a couple of ways you can do this. One of them is just put in a wall there. Okay, so fine, let's put in a wall. We go across to set workshop view. Alright, we want to add a wall. Add a wall. Okay, and we put it in here. But there's going to be a problem that'll come up. When you go onto the director's view, okay, now when we move out a bit here, go into the director's view, you can see the camera is behind the wall. So when you go onto the camera work view, over here it's fine. Got a bit of a wall there, you'd have to change a couple of things. Go into here, can't see a thing. Okay, so going back to the set workshop view, we're going to click on the wall, we're going to delete that. I'm going to delete that. So going back onto the camera work view, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to actually move the camera so that it's got more of a side shot. Now I recommend you don't actually do it there, because if you do it there and then you made a mistake, it's going to be, so start off there and then you can move it to where it was before. So move your timeline across to here, click on it, and preferably from about there. Alright, I'm going to now turn the angle slightly, so there we go. Alright, so we've got the picture, we've got the, and the main center of the shot is his face there. Alright, so I'm going to say jump camera to this view. Alright, that's fine. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to delete the cut, remembering where it is roughly. So I'm going to move it across in the timeline to about there. Alright, so it gets there, it's just got there. Actually, I think it might be better to move earlier there. That way, with camera 1, we've got that shot for a longer time. And then he's shot. Okay, so now we've got that. So we've got the camera view, starting off with the main camera. Okay, main camera, wide shot, then it follows the character, zooms in, then it goes across to his, of course this, we will be changing then to camera 1, so I'm double clicking on the right on camera 1 and we'll see what happens there. We've got the side shot of his face and then he's shot. Now for when he's shot we need really to jump to, we'll go back to the main camera, decide at the point just when he falls. Okay, so about there. We're going to change the position of the camera. We want it really quite close to the ground so you can take the shot of him falling there. Alright, so I'm going to move it down using Alt and the left button. I want it quite close to the ground so you really do get that shot. Right button of the mouse to try and get the angle as he falls. Okay, looking up at him. Alright, let's set that as the jump camera to this view. And now we'll move the timeline here. Okay, it's ready for him. He's shot and he falls. There we go. And that's the end. So now we've got all the different camera positions. Starting off from the, we'll be starting when we're doing the actual editing. Starting off with the main camera. We've got the wide angle view, then we've got the star walking in, the camera zooming in and panning across, then at about this point we will be changing across to camera 1. Now from camera 1 it'll be that shot we want, just from when we're looking at him, and then we'll be adding expression as well. And just at about here we'll be moving back to the main camera close to the ground and we see him shot there and falling. Okay, so that's the camera work finished. The next section is going to be tweaking and adding expressions and gestures to the character before he's dead, that is, once he's alive. Okay.